You're back, and I love it. If you are new here though, don't forget subscribe buttons are so much cooler than TikTok dance videos. So anyways, so today I want to talk about a question that gets asked a lot and has been coming up a lot in the comment section. Why should I travel now? Honestly, when I see this question, the first thing that comes to my mind is, why not? Then I start hearing that same old story, I'm gonna wait until I'm retired. And honestly, I think that's a horrible plan. Unless you got some kind of like 10-year plan in motion that's already going, that's gonna set you financially free before you actually retire, I just think it's a waste of time and it's kind of a pipe dream. So today I want to talk about why you should be packing your bags and going out and traveling to a new country for a few months or even a few years. So without further ado, let's get into it. The economy is bad. Everyone is aware that the pandemic has shut down a lot of tourism, if not most of tourism globally. And with restrictions being removed because of common sense, because they said so, this allows us to start traveling again, and businesses can start opening, or at least are trying to stay afloat, which means lots of discounts, better tours that are more quiet and less chaotic. And the best part about it is you can go to places that are more affordable that usually cost an arm and a leg to get to. An example of this is 4 months ago, I was in Phuket, Thailand, very expensive resort area where we were staying on the beach. Usually cost you between $100 and $200 a night to stay in these hotels. I ended up paying like $300 for a whole week. Huge discount. And Airbnbs also are offering up to 50% discounts if you rent out an entire month of their property. In short, if you're trying to travel on a budget where there's not a lot of tourists, a lot of trash, and a lot of noise, but don't want to budget what you're actually doing on your vacation, you can do a lot more with $1 now than you could have done 3 years ago. Now is a great time. Go below, check out the iVisa link and get an e-visa and start traveling right now. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Working abroad or as a nomad expat? Traveling could go two different ways. You could, one, save up some money, pack up your bags, get on a plane and have a blast. And then when that money runs out, return home, go back to work, rinse and repeat. A process that a lot of people actually enjoy, and it's a great way to get out of the office, get out of your normal day-to-day situation, and just enjoy the moments that you have. For others, including myself, we like to pack up, have some money, go out and have a blast, but not return anytime soon. There are many different options on how to actually do this. My advice to you is get into that rabbit hole and start looking at nomad traveling. Find a skill that you really enjoy doing, that you love to do. It could be a hobby, some kind of a talent that you have that others could perceive as a skill they'd be willing to pay for. You don't retire from something like this because you just love what you do and it gives you purpose. But you can also do what a lot of other nomads do out here in Asia, such as Amazon drop shipping, some type of freelance work, be it photography or web development, writing books, or simply just being a content creator and traveling wherever you want to go. But honestly, anything you can manage to do with a laptop and a phone, acting as a camera, is enough to get you by. However though, the nomad life isn't always for everybody, including myself back in 2015 when I first moved abroad to Vietnam. So what I ended up doing is I have a bachelor's degree, I had a TEFL certification that you need to teach abroad, but I just jumped in the classroom. I started becoming an English teacher and a science and math teacher to make some extra income. If you have a bachelor's degree and a TEFL degree, you can start jumping into teaching English, science, math, even STEM programs. If you are lacking the 120-hour TEFL certificate that you need to teach abroad, check the link below for 50% off to get the whole program done online. There's also a big advantage of teaching abroad. It puts you into the culture, the community, and with other people of that country to really immerse yourself into it with little to no effort. This is a big advantage over a nomad that's traveling abroad. Working as a teacher, it puts you into these situations with no fear, where you're already accepted in advance because you are working for somebody and you're part of that community, and you can start building relationships based off that title. Where a nomadic traveler, he's gonna have to throw himself into them forcefully sometimes, or even creatively, which can be, sometimes for people that are shy, it can be a stressful process. Now, if you don't have a degree, places like Cambodia are great in Southeast Asia, and I know in Panama, there's some spots you can teach in South America where all you need to have is a TEFL. But what I did to get this ball rolling is I got my e-visa and I jumped straight into it, and I set that time with commitment to buying it. So check below if you wanna get your e-visa online, get the ball rolling, trust me, it's worth it. And you get paid to do all this. Enjoy cleaner and more quiet tourist spots. Have you ever been on a tourist trip where it was just flooded with tourists, trash, noise? It was just chaos. I have. Check out the Vung Tao video we did about 3 months ago in Vietnam. It was horrible. However, this is a great time to take a vacation. A lot of countries are starting to open up, remove restrictions, allow you to fly without vaccines. Here's the catcher to it all. Most people aren't thinking about vacations, they're thinking about going back to work. So this is leaving the tourist aspect much less than it used to be. So traffic, heavy pollution, a lot of noise, overbooked trips, that's a thing of the past as of right now. And a great part of this is you can bring your family. It's much safer than it's ever been before. And you can find bigger family trips at bigger discounts without having to be with a bunch of other tourists, just having your family. In places like South America, south of Thailand, the Philippines, you can even rent parts of islands, if not the entire island, at huge discounts. Like seriously, islands. Imagine you and your family, your kids, your wife, chilling on your own island. It's completely possible right now. And also the traffic, be it people or vehicles, be it in Asia, South America, places like India, Vietnam, Philippines, it's so low now. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the biggest stressful points for Western people that are traveling abroad in Asia or South America is always that traffic. It feels so good to be able to walk through Vietnam streets without worrying about getting ran over by a motorbike. And this will also allow you to hit those big tourist areas with, again, your family and not have to worry about a bunch of drunk people running around or vendors attacking you with scorpions on a stick or anything like that. So it being with your family or even just traveling alone, now is an awesome time to go just for that relief and more independent traveling. So pack your bags, get them going. If you don't have any bags, check that nomadic link below. Let's get down to the final point. You're still young. Why not travel now before it's too late? Waiting till you're retired. And honestly, for me, I think that's an excuse. Laziness even. Everyone has this idea that I'm gonna travel, go abroad, and have fun when I retire. So let me ask, do you agree with that? Comment below. So let me tell you why I think this is a horrible idea. Most people don't even retire until their 60s or 70s in most countries. And when they get to this age, they just are not motivated no more to travel, let alone get on an airplane to fly across the world. Most would rather just retire, hang out with family, grandchildren, and just sit back and grab a beer. And not to mention, a big part of traveling abroad is hanging out in the hostel life, jumping off waterfalls, jumping out of planes, hitting these crazy spots that when we get older are gonna be physically harder to do. And I've met a lot of people that were 65, 55, they retired and they were out traveling with us. And most of the time when we all went out as expats or tourists and hit different spots, they usually didn't go. And it wasn't us saying, yo, you're too old, go to bed, old man. It was mostly they just didn't feel like they were up to it. They were too tired. They didn't have the strength to do it no more. It was always some kind of a physical or mental excuse. And if you think that you're gonna go out and hit these like drinking parties and bars like that on Bui Vin or Khao San Road, think again. Every time I see somebody that's 65, 70 out there trying to pound 3 or 4 beers, it takes 2 or 3. They're just like, hey, are you a girl? If you're into having parties and having fun now, it's not gonna be the same 30, 40 years from now when you finally do come out here. Wait until I retire. To me, it's just a useless pipe dream. Mostly because you're ignoring the better years of your life. And you could take so much more financial and physical risks that you cannot take once you get older. If you're 65, 70, you're not gonna be able to just start blowing money everywhere and not think like, you know, a few years I can get it back when I go back to work. This might be it for you. So you lose that ability to take those risks, which is a big part of traveling abroad. And really, let's be honest, traveling when you're 20 or 30 or even 40 is a whole lot more fun and different than if you're out traveling when you're 65, 75, or even in your 80s. So what you think is fun today when you're watching this video, 30 years from now, it might not be what you're into anymore. So my advice on this, and it's just advice, unprofessional, unlicensed, make adjustments to your life. Make ways to spend less, save more. Find out what you don't truly need in life and start saving, because you going out getting those coffees every day at Starbucks or a Big Mac might be the difference on why you don't get to take that vacation you've always wanted. So get in there, start planning, start packing, and get out here. You need it, trust me. So I hope this video really gave you some motivation and some ideas about traveling now and not waiting till later when it's probably gonna be too late. And you really miss out on those experiences of actually being able to travel abroad and do things that you're not gonna be able to do when you get older. Like really, what do you think a fun vacation is gonna be like right now if you're 35, 25, but you take it when you're 65 or 70? It's not gonna be the same. Look up Pattaya, it's kind of sad. So take the first step. Check the link below for iVisa, get your e-visa, put your foot in the stone and make that first decision that's gonna lock you into an adventure that you're not gonna regret. And if you do need a bag or anything like that, check the link for the nomadic bags. There's a ton of them down there, and I believe they're doing payment plans with no interest, so there's no excuse not to get a bag right now. And of course, comment below. I want to know where you want to go. Where's your dream spot that you're gonna go and not wait till later to do it? No more excuses, only actions at this point. We only have one life. Don't leave it behind and waste it. Till then, guys, I will see you again.